Kings and queens, queens and kings, welcome. I'm Michael and this is Ground Up Movement. I am honoured and I am grateful that you're here for real, so thank you for your time. So here I am sitting on a collapsed tree in the Onkaparinga River, home, totally connected to this land. Had some mad downloads and kundalini moments and moments in nature, profound moments in nature here. But sometimes you've just got to hit the road. It's time to go into the wilderness. From the bottom, from the breakdown, from the moments that bring the space of darkness and despair, the dark night of the soul. The journey to release, strip back to the space where you are but a shell. The 0 point of a new cycle from the inside out. From the bottom to the realms of new heights undiscovered without the journey of collapsing towers built on shaky foundations. From an immersion in the culturescape's news, imagery, language and vibration to the reconnect to the ocean's shores, finding beauty in the movement and sounds of water flowing, rocks and seemingly insignificant shells. From the silhouettes of the clouds in the sky and the sun's light depicting kingdoms above, to the outback mountain ranges of this beautiful world, where the language and energy trapped in form capture a beauty that at times overpower the majesty of our giant blue sky. From a place where the corporate controlled media and those trapped in a manifesting cycle of fear, guilt, shame, rush mentality and belief systems perpetuating more of the same, to the slowing down and noticing of the media output of nature, where the trees' growth shapes and patterns tell of the energy broadcast in the Earth's consciousness grid, from a space of glazed over fluoride stares of misunderstandings, misconceptions and projections of inherited low vibrational thoughts, to the wilderness, its story of constant regrowth, harsh beauty, delicate balance, silence and songs, colour shades, shapes and smells. There is a language and a story that is here to heal the soul. It's time to hit the road.
In 500 meters, go straight and then go straight.
That was cold. Whew. And absolutely extraordinary. And it was no joke hanging off the back of that, Troopy recording that stuff either. So before I break it down, for anyone new, what is up? But check this out. I am 100% responsible for what I say. However, I am not responsible on what you understand. Having said that, it is with a deep understanding that I convey to you this message. You are loved. You are special. You are sovereign. And you are here for a reason. You are unlimited, and your best is yet to come. You are stable. You are inspiring. You are truthful. You are authentic. You are creative. You are intelligent. You are deep. You are bold. You are radiant. You are soulful. You are wise. You are success. You are insightful. You are strong. You are shining light. You are healing. You deserve loving people around you. You are a leader. You are a teacher. You are funny. You are powerful. And your self-talk is more important than you realize. And that's no joke. Shout out to Heath Ledger, the absolute legend. So yeah, that was just a Facebook post from March this year. Now let's move on to some, what, for lack of a better word, rock porn, for a better term, rock porn. I'm bringing a beat back that I've used before, but this time it's a feature. I love me some congas. Let's do this. specimen. Arkarula, a sacred space if there ever was one. Let me tell you a little story. And the giant serpent drank up the lake until it was dry. And it slithered through the lands, creating waterholes and springs along the journey as it released deposits. And the giant once even threw up, creating a mountain where the land's waters boil. And the people of the stars came to visit these lands where you can find the witchetty grub. And the star people visited all the indigenous communities, laying down the laws of the land, the way to live one's greatest life. And they told them to care, to share, and to respect. And the star people then left and returned to a space in the night sky only visible in the Milky Way, away from society's lights. And the Western man came, and the world wars came, and the young indigenous men go to war, and some generational traditions are now gone. And the Manhattan Project began. The dawn of nuclear proliferation was in the winds. And the geologists came, and they listened to the Aboriginal stories of the serpent and the sick mountain. And they found the most highly sought after rock in the land of the rocks. And the uranium from Arkarula went overseas to the USA. And the weapons of mass destruction went to Nagasaki and Hiroshima. And world nuclear proliferation began. And the galactic civilizations took notice of the energy emittance from this technology. And they began monitoring our technological advancements. And they could see that technology was outracing human collective consciousness. And so began the recognition in our modern skies of UFOs. And disinformation and secrecy from governments worldwide also began. And then began the recognition from researchers that alien, high technology, high consciousness beings are seeded throughout every society's history. And then in 2021, right now, the most uncensored thing to look up and research in the world of mass censorship, cancel culture, is UFO disclosure. And then the cycle of disinformation and misinformation begins yet again by mainstream sources. And this land in South Australia, this place in the Flinders Ranges, is one of the most major catalyst points for catapulting modern society literally into the space age. And who knew we had one of the most spiritually sacred and civilization shaping sites right here in our own backyard. And this information, this important cultural knowledge, was conveyed by our flora and fauna walk guide up in the privately owned and run Arkarula lands, where there are no less than 4 observatories. And he has been telling these stories since 1997. And he needs a black fella to carry on this knowledge. And I only tell this story in my way to do what I can to keep this knowledge alive. Even though it's not my place with respect to the traditional people of this land.
And then?
No,
That's it.
And then?
No and then. That's all I want.
And then?
And then you can put it in a brown paper bag and come put it in my hand because I'm ready to eat.
And then?
I refuse to play your Chinese food mind games.
And then?
No! No and then!
And then?
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 Then you're really starting to piss me off, lady. And then I'm gonna come in there and I'm gonna put my foot in your ass if you say and then again!
And then?
Literally just wrote that on the full moon. But yeah, that's what's up. Time to keep it moving. Let's look at some trees. I hope you like this. Damn, back in the city again. And here's a warning, when going out back, take lip balm with you. My whole upper lip was one lip, and there was no chapstick anywhere. Oh well, while we're back in the city, might as well drop some ancient wisdom into pop culture on TikTok. How we do that? We're gonna lay some love on the line. What do you mean by that? I said, we gonna lay some love on the line. Yeah, look, so I'm on TikTok. I drop that stuff basically on purpose into kid culture. I might not be a father, but I know that's the type of shit I wouldn't mind my 8 to 17-year-old seeing. And when you use modern music like that, it gets more exposure on TikTok. So yeah, that's just another little one-man protest to the system. That's subconscious programming for youth in a nice way. And guess what? And a little secret, it works on adults too. Alright, moving on. I want to send a big shout out to Wendy and her magical Toyota Coaster 1990 on Club Rego. What an absolute legend of a bus. It's the legend of the Flinders, for sure. Alright, so now we're going to talk about the changing world out there, the changing earth. So whether you've got your clairs open and you see things differently through your third eye or whatever, what is plain to see, there's factual signs that the world is changing, is so last year here in South Australia was the windiest year on record, and every time I was out meditating and the wind would hit me, the words would always come into my head, the winds of change are here, and that resonates with me. So roses and flowers all over my work areas and relating to customers who I speak to, the rose growth, flowering in the last couple of years, for 9 out of 10 people I've spoken to said it's flowers have been flowering on roses like they've never seen their entire lives. So that's a big deal. And we've just finished autumn here, we're now in winter, but I'm telling you, autumn was like another spring. The smell was in the air, the birds, the bees, the butterflies. Leaves were not dropping off trees, they just started to drop off in the early winter. That's a massive shift. And when we're in the outback, in Arkaroola, through the Flinders, there was flowers everywhere. I'm just going to pop up a few that I took when I was up there. Even on our nature flora and fauna walk, our tour guide said that it's been a false spring up there and it's incredibly rare, like it never happens. And so yeah, the signs are everywhere that the world's changing. So you know, for me, definitely connected to the earth, and what that actually means is making some changes. And I'll just give some examples of the shit I do. I don't use poisons anymore in my business, glyphosate and stuff like that. I might use it on 1 or 2 business customers, but apart from that, I don't use it, I don't offer it. And it's that's one of the changes I've done. I now use earth safe detergents for my washing and bits and pieces like that. I eat less meat. So they're all just small changes that you make over time, and you don't have to change the world, everything at once, but like 10 years from now, when I've put years worth of small changes together, along with everyone else, that's how we change the world from the ground up. All right, I hope that you've liked this presentation. Just something a little bit dynamic and different again. And the next one, hopefully I can bring some more new flavors to the game. My name is Michael Doviak. Thank you so much for watching. Peace, much love, and light. Stay tuned for more madness. Keep shining your light. Namaste.
From little things, big things grow. From little things, big things grow.
From little things, big things grow. From little things, big things grow.
Since 1991, 441 Indigenous Australians have died in custody. The casualties of a war that never ended. But we are not yet defeated. Always was, always will be. Sovereignty was never ceded.